Sometimes films come out and they're just not as good as they should be. Let's talk about that. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Movie Emporium's movie review of Cleaner, the newest film from director Martin Campbell. Alright, guys, Daisy Ridley stars as a window cleaner who gets embroiled in a terrorist attack in a building, and she must stop the terrorist attack from basically fulfilling their promises, and these involve eco-terrorists of people that she may or may not know. So in the process, the FBI and the police get involved, and she must find herself fighting the bad guys to save the maybe non-corrupt but probably corrupt individuals that are high up in the CEO form that deal with environmental issues. So that's this movie, Cleaner. Woman who may or not be in the military fighting bad guys. Seem familiar? Yeah, okay. So yeah, Cleaner. Martin Campbell is a director that has successfully rebooted two Bond characters in the Pierce Brosnan version of Bond, as well as Daniel Craig, Mask of Zorro. He did stuff like Green Lantern and other stuff. It's not been a really good last few years for Martin Campbell, but this is a movie that has Daisy Ridley in it. It's a movie that has Clive Owen in it, and Martin Campbell can make decent films. I'm not saying he's a terrible director, but I think he did like The Protege or something like that. But anyways, this is definitely a Die Hard type movie. It has bad guys in a high-rise skyscraper, a person out of their elements. It involves a person contacting a person from below, as well as somebody that she cares about, which is her autistic brother and stuff like that. So yeah, there you go. So how to say without being too honestly upset by this movie. My honest review is this movie is quite baffling. This movie is quite terrible. And this movie is only 86 minutes long with 10 minutes of credits at the end, and it shows. It's a movie that spends way too much time getting into its point. It's a movie that spends way too much time, having a lot of dialogue back and forth, and there is not a lot of action. And it has a bunch of stupid characters, including the bad guy Noah. And it does things that are textbook ripping off another genre of film like Die Hard. And so therefore, this is legitimately one of the worst movies I've seen this year. Because I only do disappointing movies, this probably won't be on that list. But it's a movie I didn't know much about until somebody sent me a screener for it. I like Daisy Ridley. I like, Clive Owen. But this movie, once it tries to get going, it makes stupid decisions. It doesn't have enough time to breathe. Characters die pretty quickly after they are introduced into this movie, and it makes decisions. I appreciate that this takes the angle of like, even though they're eco-terrorists, they do have reason and doubt to these people that they are taking hostage, and they completely sideline that by making a bad guy a complete and utter idiot terrorist who's going to go beyond what he is wanting to do. It's a movie basically saying ecological terrorists or ecological people have an obsessed mind to commit atrocities, and it really is baffling that it took that stance, because you have a lot of things to say, and watching the people that they take hostage get their comeuppance is much more interesting than what this movie's trying to represent. It's trying to have your typical bad guys with the computer nut and stuff like that, but also have this woman who is out of her elements, but not really capable of doing much because they know there's a lot of baffling decision making in this movie that just kind of bothers me. And therefore, I just really didn't like this movie. I mean, this movie is one of those movies where if I had a top 10 worst of the year, this would be high up there, because it's just such a miscalculation, such a weirdly directed. Once again, it apes Die Hard in such a obvious fashion, and in the end, I just didn't like this movie. I really didn't. It's very ugly looking. It has characters who are in one side, out the other, and I don't know. It really tries to be entertaining. It really does. But then it starts making the decisions where it's like, why are you doing this to me? Why are you making me watch this sluggish, very boring, but also 86-minute movie? How do you make an 86-minute movie very sluggish and boring and not written well. It just doesn't make any sense to me, to be fairly honest. And I feel bad for Daisy Ridley, who has had a couple of interesting movies come out since she's been in the Star Wars movies. But here, she's not given much to do. She doesn't have much to play on. And in the end, it's a terrible movie. It really is. It doesn't have any rhyme or reason. And it just goes places that are really problematic when it comes to what it's trying to say. So overall, I did not like this movie. It's pretty bad and not worth your time. Maybe you see it on a Saturday on VOD, not VOD, but on a streaming service. Maybe watch it there, but I wouldn't recommend going to the theater to see this movie. That's why I probably won't do very well. So there you go. Anyways, that is my review of The Cleaner. Thank you so much for watching. Comments below. What is your favorite Die Hard-esque movie? Let me know. It can't be this, I promise you that. But let me know in the comments below what you think. Otherwise, if you like what you see on the channel, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell at the top to find what's coming next. If you like this video, awesome. Hit that like button. And as always, we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out, guys.